plastic waste. Counties need to support wholesale production and consumption of plastic unnecessarily by promoting extended producer responsibility, popularly known as EPR, in the schemes. This can incentivize business to use sustainable alternatives that are truly biodegradable, compostable, indefinitely recyclable, and aid enterprise and consider product packaging as a resource alternative rather than trash. And that is why I'm very happy with what the youth is doing. As it has been mentioned by Charlene, what we have seen there in the stand is amazing, by just 2 or 3 youth who are recycling those plastics. Through the support of the Ministry of Environment and other partners, each county can also adequately address unique challenges to improve waste segregation at the source and provide adequate infrastructure and investment in favor of modern solid waste management. We are already innovatively developing urban areas in counties as a best practice in evolution, cognizant of the steady rise of the urbanization rate and its impact on infrastructure development, since significant amounts of plastic waste are generated each day, with only 9% being reused, restored, and recycled. By the year 2060, we will surpass the 1 billion tons of plastic waste globally. I encourage us all to stand at the forefront of the global debate on the plastic waste management and engage in more collaborations with institutions for sustainable change for us to tackle the plastic waste scourge and boost livelihoods through joint efforts with counties. The county government of Tharaka Nithi remains committed to promoting the widespread adoption of regulations that promote environment conservation and biodiversity. The total waste produced in Tharaka Nithi, the solid waste, in the whole of the county, currently stands at 250 tons a day. Most of this is being managed at home in their homesteads, and therefore to be able to assist our residents on the best practice, we have again to incorporate civic education to ensure that they not only burn waste, but segregate and use what can be able to be used at home, and not only get rid of what cannot be reusable in a clean way to ensure that they don't pollute their homes. Our current capacity in our waste collection center is around 30 tons daily. It may look small, but when you let 30 tons daily to accumulate in a dump site for over 5 years, it becomes a mountain. Not just a mountain or something useful, but a very unuseful, almost I would call useless things. We are currently managing the waste in a place that I don't want to mention in the presence of NEMA, although they know, but with the collaboration of the same NEMA. And I want to thank Chairman Emilio Mogo and DG Mamo, who are able to get environmental impact assessment approvals and all the other licenses. The Tharaka Nithi community have been very considerate. Just in case you're not aware, DG and Chair, the most difficult public participation that you can ever do for any public is to tell them you want to acquire their land for waste. They usually call it takataka. Even the most educated usually don't accept. They want, we are very happy producing waste, but nobody wants to know where that waste is normally disposed. Therefore, they'll tell you, not our land, not in neighborhood, not in our neighborhood, look somewhere else. But you always wonder, where is this somewhere else? Because we don't have any vacant land in Kenya. All land in Kenya belong to someone. And therefore, I want to take this opportunity to thank the residents of Tharaka Nithi, particularly the ones of a place called Rukendo in Chuka municipality, who agreed to give Tharaka Nithi County 18 acres of land where we intend to have our solid waste management center beginning of 1st of July 2025. I am there for officially appealing to NEMA. Despite the fact that you know where the dump site is and is not in a very appropriate place, and even the police commander is here, he knows best. And thank you for not reporting me to the president the other day, because he came to launch police housing just next. And my people and the police had done a very good job, because I don't know what chemical they used to treat the garbage. It was not smelling that day. In fact, I think they had sprayed it, because you could only smell something that was smelling like vanilla, in the neighborhood, like flowers. But that cannot be a long solution, because it's definitely very expensive. So by the end of this July, Chairman, you will not find a single kilogram or a gram of waste in that place. We shall have cutted it away, all of it, and it's an opportunity now for all the youth who want to invest in recycling waste to look for a space in our new center and set up something that they can be able to use, get the very recyclable raw material, and they can be able to use it again from there. It will also be an opportunity for us to get rid of it, so we will not be charging you anything. You will be like a partner in a cycle that we normally call symbiotic in biology. We need you, you need us, but of course we need you most. This will enable the county government to enhance the circular economy around the waste in more elaborate manner, which entails converting the waste to income generating to different organized youth groups. We need the county. The county has planned to invest in more equipments to handle the waste, including specialized trucks that will pick, compact, and isolate the waste before it gets to the Center for Recycling. We therefore request NEMA and the ministry through UCS to collaborate with us to a fruition with a vision of converting waste into a vibrant economy, which would include processing the plastic waste to useful products like seats, fencing poles, among many others. We also ask NEMA to tap into our capacity to enforce and crack down on the use of plastics, and also implementation of the Extended Producer Responsibility Act of 2024 on producer responsibility and waste management regulations of 2024 to ensure that we have a clean environment. We, as the county of Tharaka Nithi also, are blessed with two universities. The University of Tharaka, where we are today, the University of Chuka. Both of them are vibrant research centers, very highly renowned in this country for the discoveries that have been made in their research centers. We are using this opportunity to ask you to collaborate with us on research on management of plastic waste, which forms part of our discussion from this today onward. We do not want to be left with just the aftermath of a good event. We want to have events that will follow up from this meeting that will culminate to something that we can say both universities we have partnered. It is also, to us, the university being the highest producer. You see, the biggest institution in Tharaka Nithi is Chuka University and Tharaka University. Of course, waste are produced by human beings. So the two biggest waste producers is the two universities. I will not say which one is a bigger producer of the same, but they are the biggest producer. It's just now the students are not in, but when they're in, our youth are very, very vibrant in terms of interacting with the waste. So we are asking you kindly, Professor, for now, it may be very expensive for us to cut waste all the way from Tharaka University to our waste management site. We are willing to collaborate with you, even to help the markets that are around, so that we can have a center here where we can manage your waste at the university, so that we don't take it out there. And we will go to any length to assist you do that, because we'll be solving our problem in the process of assisting you. And that goes also the same with the Chuka University, although Chuka is very near the solid management. Once more, I want to take this opportunity to welcome you to Tharaka Nithi County, County number 13, where we pride ourselves as the haven of value addition, diversity and abundance, and where we leave no one behind. As I finish, I have a message. When we were coming this morning, we had a privilege to share the same platform with the Deputy President of this country, who was supposed to have been a chief guest here today. The CS is carrying his official message. But me, I'm just carrying the message of local leadership. He told me that when we were here with the President to tell the university that in the record of the government, you are promised money for infrastructure, and that money has been ensured that it is in the current budget so that you'll be able to get money for infrastructure to finish the building. And secondly, he tasked me as the county leadership to assist you with survey and design for 5 kilometers of road around the university, from the Nkondi Junction through the university, inside the university, and connecting to the tarmac. Because the contract that he has purchased together, which is part of the 6 kilometers that was promised by the Kenya Kwanza government, the 5 kilometers have been dedicated to the THARAKA University, and it's your responsibility to show us as a county where it's going to pass so that we help you with the design and also the measurement of the kilometers. Because for you to package a tender, we need to have the right information on exactly what we are doing. So that is a message which I'm hoping that you have received it with joy, because sometimes it is one thing promising when we are in the podium using a microphone, and it is a totally different thing following up by the leadership of the Kenya Kwanza on ensuring that it is budgeted for and it is happening. I want to finish my very many minutes of speaking, and thank you, Madam CS, for allowing me to share your time. I looked at the watch and I realized that it is very early and our food may not be ready. That is why I took a bit of more time to allow the cooks to do their job. I finished my short speech by a quote from the Indian author Amit Ray, who said that plastic pollution-free world is not a choice, but a commitment to life, a commitment to the next generation. That we have no choice but to ensure that we incorporate our energy to making sure that we have environment that is friendly to live in, because we don't have another environment. With those few remarks, I now want to take this opportunity, and I want us to be ready. We put our hands together to welcome the CS of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry, Honorable Dr. Deborah Molongo Baraza. Karibu Waziri to address us.
Asante sana. Please, let's take our seats. The Governor of THARAKA Nithi County, Your Excellency Onesmus Muthomi Njuki, the Ministry of Health together, rolling out of SHA, and I commend you for the great work and collaboration we had with the team. Principal Secretary, State Department of Environment and Climate Change, Engineer Festus Ngeno, Principal Secretary in absentia of the State Department of Forestry, Mr. Gitonga Mugambi, and the Secretary who's representing him, my brother George, the County Commissioner THARAKA Nithi, David Gitonga, the Chairman NEMA Board of Management, Mr. Emilio Mugo, Chancellor THARAKA University, Professor Ratemo Micheka, Vice Chancellor THARAKA Nithi, Professor Peter Muriungi, Senator or Chairman Mo Fire, all board chairpersons of SAGAs in the ministry present, Director General NEMA, Mamo, EBS, representative of UN agencies, members of boards of management of SAGAs in the ministry, representatives of the private sector, heads of departments present, members of the Fourth Estate, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I bring greetings from His Excellency, the Deputy President. As our brother here, the Governor, His Excellency Muthomi Njuki has said, we were with him today morning, and he sends his greetings. And as the Governor has clearly said, we are looking into implementation and the improvement of the infrastructure as well as the roads, and also in support of environment, climate change, and forestry in this region. So today we join the global community to celebrate World Environment Day 2025. As we gather here in the vibrant and beautiful county of THARAKA Nithi, we renew our shared commitment to face one of the most pressing environmental challenges of our time, plastic pollution. This year's theme, Ending Plastic Pollution, is an urgent reminder that we must act now to protect our environment and secure a sustainable future for the future generation. Jeju Island in the Republic of Korea is hosting this global event with a strong focus on tackling plastic pollution and advancing international efforts to reduce plastic use and promote sustainable alternatives. Jeju Island is destined to become a plastic zero island by 2040, demonstrating a global commitment to environmental sustainability. Plastic has become integral to modern life, yet its environmental impact is deeply concerning. The world produces over 430 million tons of plastic annually, with 2/3 becoming waste that pollutes our oceans, degrades our land, and infiltrates the food chain. Only 9% of all plastic ever produced has been recycled, and more plastic has been generated in the past decade than in the entire 20th century. Ladies and gentlemen, plastic pollution is one of the most pressing environmental challenges of our time, threatening ecosystems, marine biodiversity, fisheries, coastal economies, and human health. The thematic assessment report by the Intergovernmental Science Policy Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services highlights plastic pollution as a serious environmental threat that harms ecosystem, human health, and biodiversity. The assessment emphasizes that to effectively address plastic pollution, an integrated approach combining sound policy, efficient waste systems, and behavioral change to reduce plastic production, consumption, and disposal is necessary. Across the globe, the nations are joining forces to combat plastic pollution through robust policies, binding agreements, and collaborative efforts. In 2019, the Basel Convention Conference of the Parties, COP, adopted 2 landmark decisions, the Plastic Waste Amendment and a set of enhanced actions to manage plastic waste under the Convention. These strengthen the Basel Convention's position as the only globally legally binding framework specifically targeting plastic waste. Further progress has been made under the United Nations Environmental Assembly, which through Resolution 514 resolved to develop a legally binding global treaty to combat plastic pollution. In March 2022, 175 countries agreed to develop a treaty addressing the full life cycle of plastics, from production and design to disposal, marking a transformative milestone. Further, the 5th session of the Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee, INC5, held in the Republic of Korea was instrumental in pushing negotiations forward, with UNEP and Kenya providing leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, across Africa, governments and communities are innovating. Several countries have introduced national policies to curb plastic pollution. For example, our country, Kenya, and our neighbor Rwanda, Burkina Faso pioneered plastic bag ban years ago. At the continental level, the African Union and Africa Circular Economy Alliance are developing coordinated solutions. In September 2024, ICEA, partnering with AFDB, proposed an Africa-wide recycled plastic standard for food-grade PET to encourage recycling and intra-African trade in recycled material. The Africa Ministerial Conference on the Environment has endorsed actions to reduce plastic waste and promote circular economy models. These efforts, harmonizing standards, sharing best practices, and investing in recycling are steps towards Africa becoming a global leader in sustainable plastics management. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to note that back home we are leading the fight against plastic waste by example. In 2017, we enacted one of the world's toughest bans on single-use plastic bags. As a result, NEMA reports over 80% compliance and our urban environments are visibly clear. Please, let's give ourselves a hand clap. And in May 2025, NEMA seized over 1.7 million illegal plastic bags in Nairobi. These enforcement efforts remain a cornerstone of our approach, even as we combat cross-border smuggling of banned material. NEMA estimates up to 80% of illicit bags come from outside the country, which is why Kenya is working with the East African community partners to harmonize waste rules. Beyond plastic bags, we have banned plastics in national parks, reserves, and other protected areas in an effort to conserve our natural environment. In 2023, the ministry, through NEMA, launched the National Marine Litter Management Action Plan 2021-2030. This plan is our roadmap to fight plastic pollution along our coasts and lakes. It builds on our achievements and lays out measures such as source reduction, creation of awareness, waste segregation, cleaning, committed to enforcing the existing laws and developing circular economy approaches, including the extended producer responsibility. We also developed the National Waste Management Strategy and gazetted the EPR Regulations 2024 under the Sustainable Waste Management Act 2022. These regulations will require all producers, not just plastic manufacturers, to join approved waste recovery schemes. Several industry players are already piloting such schemes. The Kenya Plastic Packaging Council, for example, has started a take-back program where member companies collect and return used packaging for recycling. Biofoods Kenya is again leading in this pilot. Once the EPR framework is fully operational, companies will be legally required to finance the collection and recycling of their packaging and products, a major step towards a circular economy. Please, let's give ourselves a hand clap. Environmentalists know what this is all about. The Kenya Association of Manufacturers and Private Sector Partners have also agreed on the Kenya Plastic Action Plan 2019. This industry-led plan encourages extended producer responsibilities through design for recyclability and investment in recycling infrastructure. My ministry is working closely with the private sector by supporting the Kenya Plastics Pact, an initiative aligning producers and retailers on reduction targets, 50% recycled content by 2030, 100% reusable or recyclable packaging. We also gazetted the Environmental Management and Coordination Waste Management Regulations 2024 to provide a robust framework emphasizing waste reduction, segregation, safe disposal, and promotion of circular economy principles. Ladies and gentlemen, innovative solutions are transforming perceptions of waste, not as a problem, but a resource. Across Kenya, we are witnessing promising strides in converting plastic waste into valuable products such as eco-friendly building materials, fencing poles, paving blocks, roofing tiles, and even furniture. These innovations are not just reducing pollution, they are creating green jobs, especially for the youth and women, and driving local economic development. Kenya's circular economy movement is growing powered by grassroots innovations, community-based organizations, and private sector champions. Informal waste pickers, often overlooked, are now being recognized and integrated into formal systems through public-private partnership and county-level waste initiatives. I call on counties, businesses, civil society, and communities to take the lead in waste segregation, sustainable packaging, and local recycling solutions. I especially want to emphasize the role of local communities in ending plastic pollution. For instance, THARAKA Nithi County government through lead by example in Kenya's fight against plastic waste. This county, known for its agricultural productivity and proximity to the rich biodiversity of Mount Kenya and the Eastern Conservancies, faces growing plastic waste challenges due to increased urbanization, especially in trading centers and markets. Every resident of THARAKA Nithi has a role to play, from business owners to reduce plastic packaging, to schools teaching sustainability, to farmers finding alternatives to agroplastic in farming. Your everyday action matters. Participate in cleanup drives, support recycling centers, and say no to single-use plastic. This year's theme, Ending Plastic Pollution, is a shared call to action. Governments, policymakers, SMEs, the plastics industry, financial institutions, and communities must all work together to drive change in production, consumption, and waste management. Ending plastic pollution is not just a government's agenda. It is a call to every Kenyan, to industry, innovate sustainable alternatives, to our youth, lead through action, and to all citizens, reduce, reuse, and recycle. I assure you of the unwavering commitment of my ministry to end plastic pollution, from bold policy, regional leadership, and international negotiations to grassroots actions and innovations. We are moving as one nation with one purpose: to protect our environment and our future. Let us be the generation that ends plastic pollution for our health, for our planet, and for the generations yet to come. Thank you, and God bless you. And off the script, hiyo ilikuanga ya Deputy President. Ningependa kuongea kuhusu uchumi mzunguko, ambayo mmeiona pale imeanguka kidogo. Zamani tulikuwa tunaongea maneno ya kununua bidhaa, kutumia bidhaa, alafu inatupwa. Ikajaa kwa mazingira, na ikijaa kwa mazingira inajaa pia kwa mito, kwa misitu, Indian Ocean na kila mahali. Watengenezaji au watayarishaji wa bidhaa, tuseme kama vyakula, hii masoda tunakunywa, machupa inaenda inatupwa kila mahali. Ukiangalia maneno ya mikate, makaratasi yanatupwa kila mahali. Bidhaa ambayo tunatumia kama masabuni, unaona makaratasi pia yanatupwa. Diapers na pads ziko kila mahali. Na pia teknolojia, ukiangalia maneno ya masimu na pia kompyuta, huwa iko na chemichemi kidogo ambayo ni sumu kwa mwili yetu. Yakitupwa kila mahali, tuseme kama kunanyesha, hiyo chafu yote inabebwa na inachanganyika na maji ambayo tunatumia kwa matumizi yetu ya kila siku. Wakati mwingine watu wanakunywa, mliona vijana wakiongea hapa, tumbo inauma, unatapika, unaendesha. Wakati mwingine hata hiyo chembi kama ya simu inaweza leta madhara, kama madhara ya figo, madhara ya maini, hata kansa inaweza patikana kwa sababu ya hayo. Na ndio maana tunasema waste management ni muhimu sana. Isitoshe, hii plastic, mlisikia vijana wakisema wanyama wanapokula, wanyama wa pori, mifugo yetu nyumbani, hata wale wa majini kama papa. Kuna papa mmoja alikufa, wakafanya autopsy, wakaona ni plastic ilikuwa imejaa, akifikiria ni chakula. Hii yote inaleta madhara. Ndio maana tunasema leo tuchunge mazingira yetu. Leo tunasema watengenezaji au watayarishaji wa bidhaa. Watengenezaji au watayarishaji wa bidhaa. hii machupa tunaona kila mahali. Wakati mwingine wanasifu, wanasema kweli tumeuza ama tumeunda tukauza soda zaidi ya 10,000, 1,000, 1,100. Lakini mimi swali moja nauliza, baada ya mwaka moja hiyo uchafu inaenda wapi? Inajaa kwa mazingira yetu. Ni jukumu letu sisi kulinda mazingira, lakini hao watengenezaji, hao watayarishaji wa hii bidhaa, masoda, madaipa, hiyo mapads, mikate, hiyo makaratasi ya mikate, ni jukumu yao, na hiyo ingine hata kompyuta na masimu, na hiyo bidhaa yote wahakikishe imetoka kwa mazingira na imeenda through recycling. Hiyo itasaidia vijana wetu kupata makazi, lakini pia itasaidia kuhakikisha mazingira yetu imebaki safi. Na ndio maana kama ministry tumesema extended producer responsibility. Ni jukumu la watengenezaji na watayarishaji wa bidhaa wahakikishe hiyo bidhaa yao isilete madhara kwa mazingira yetu. Waandike vijana na wahakikishe imekuwa recycled back, ndiposa tukae kwa mazingira safi. Lakini pia sisi kama wananchi tuhakikishe mazingira yetu imebaki safi, tusitupe vitu huku na kule, na tutumie vitu ambayo inanufaisha mazingira yetu. So kwa hayo machache, asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki.
A round of applause to our Cabinet Secretary. Thank you so much. CS, before we conclude, allow me, Governor, kindly join the CS on stage. In the pre-events, the functions that were happening, there was football tournament that happened, and we want now to ask you, together with the Governor, to award number 3. That is Dynamo FC. You turn this way. There are medals. DG, come with the medals. You award them, kindly. Yeah, remove the podium, kindly. So kindly award the Dynamo FC. Yeah, wapande huku juu. A round of applause for them, kindly. Yeah. A round of applause, kindly. Wapikie makofi. As number 3, Dynamo FC is the second runners up. Live Wire FC should be following. Live Wire FC. Live Wire FC. Karibuni sana, whether they are full or reps, wakuja haraka. Live Wire FC wakuja haraka mbio mbio.